love and happiness. Something that'll make you do wrong, make you do right. I love. What's up, y'all? This is Ty. Let me stop. Now, listen, don't tell me, Ty, why you doing this? That song ain't got nothing to do with this. Actually, it does, because they did play that at the end of tonight's episode. So, what's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review Season 2, Episode 3 of P.Valley. Tonight's episode is titled The Dirty Dozen. But before I do that, I have to give a shout out to my lovely subscribers. Yes, your boy is back. I had a lovely vacation. I had a real good time. I got a little tan and everything. I was out there on that beach in Puerto Rico having a good time. But let me give a shout out to my lovely subscribers. And you too can be one of them if you just hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Hit the subscribe button. You can have fun here. Help this channel go and grow. You know what I'm saying? You're going to like it here. So shout outs too. We have a new subscriber. I believe her name is Sabia, YA, welcome. Shout outs to Savannah, Rivers of Moore, Dupree, June, BLC, Lamont, Simpson, House of Sir James, Karima, Khadija, Quiet Guy, CC, Duchess Kelly, Love, your boy Coy, and all the rest of you wonderful people who left me some lovely, awesome comments. And like I said, hit that subscribe button. Also, happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers. I had a great Father's Day. I enjoyed my Father's Day. Really relaxed day. Happy Father's Day. And it's Juneteenth too. Happy Juneteenth and all that good stuff. And let's get right on down to this review of The Dirty Dozen episode. Yes, The Dirty Dozen. All right. That new girl, what's her name? Roulette? She reminds me of somebody. I'm trying to figure out who she reminds me of. But that new girl, Roulette, she in the private room with her customer. Now, you gotta have some money to. What I heard is you gotta have money because I've never been to a strip club. You gotta have some money when you go into little private rooms and with the sexy dancers and all that. So Roulette is in the room and she's all naked for the guy. And the guy said, "I want you to take that mask off. I want to see them lips." And she said, I'm already half naked. I'm already naked. You want to see my other lips? I was like, ooh. She was like, well, then she said, why don't you take the mask off for me? He took the mask off and he saw her pretty lips. She do have some pretty lips. And he said, I like them lips, them some lips. So he asked her for some services and she said, oh no, that's against the rules. We can't do that. We can't give head and we can't do that. She said, rule number 4, you hoe and you out the door. That's what she said. So I said, okay, so she got a little dignity with her. I ain't judging, but I said she got a little class with her. She's like, no, we ain't do. That's not what we do. We ain't breaking the rules. Then she said, but for a brick, you could get some. So she's definitely gonna be trouble because she breaking rules. She in here hoeing and clearly the girl is going to be prostituting and carrying on. You could tell that she's already breaking the rules, and I can see where she's going to be some serious trouble. And did y'all catch the scene, when she did her little dance, her little routine, she had all that money. First of all, shout outs to, I don't know if these are the actors or the stripper stunt doubles that are doing all those pole tricks. I just think it all is just, that's a beautiful talent. That's a talent. Climbing up on that pole and the booty up in the air and spinning and the legs open and going in circles. And that's a talent right there. You take all my money too. If I went to strip clubs, you take my money too. But see, I ain't got time for that. But anyway, she did all that. They was doing all that. And you see all that money she collected. And she made a little remark to Mercedes, whose bag was not as full. She said, well, Mercedes, don't worry. Your bag is not. She said, your bag is not half empty. It's half full. I'm optimistic. Mercedes said, mind your business. Mind your business. But you could tell, Mercedes ain't like that. And Mercedes getting a little bit jealous. And Mercedes' gym is all messed up. She's in debt and all that. And, we talking about prostituting. Well, guess what? Mercedes has to go on over to the coach to make a little deal to be, remember the coach had told her, if you be my side piece, I will give you some money. If you my side piece, my regular side piece, I'll hook you up and make this deal. She said, listen, let's ask your wife first, because she's like, I'm not feeling this. So let's get your wife involved. Really interesting. So we doing this like hoeing with dignity and morals here. I ain't judging. I'm just saying. So Mercedes is going to go meet up with Coach, meet his wife, and negotiate and get all these things together. Meanwhile, while that is going on, we see her mother, Pastor Woodbine, who's doing very well with her church. And her church is giving out food, giving out the boxes. And who pulls up but Tarika, Mercedes' daughter, who she don't have custody of. The stepmother is taking care of Tarika. And she's asking for 2 boxes. And the lady said, oh, you need 2 boxes? And she shouts out Miss Woodbine. Miss Woodbine comes over and she notices her. And at first, Tarika got a little disrespectful. She called her by her name. At first, she said, oh, don't play with me. Then she told her, oh, hi, Grandma, whatever. And she said, what's going on? What you need these boxes for? So immediately, I was like, yeah, something going on at home. And she was like, oh, no, one is for me and one is for a neighbor. And Grandma could tell. She said, you look just like Mercedes when you tell them lies. And she said, you know what? Give her 4 boxes. So they gave her 4 boxes. She said, thank you, Grandma. Thank you, this, that, and the third. And so, that was pretty interesting. But we get down to some more stuff here. We learned that she's home. We do see Tarika at home. And at first I thought, is her mother dead? Is she passed out? Is she sick with COVID? Because, this is taking place. They incorporate the COVID story. But no, she's just drunk, her stepmom. She's a drunk or whatever. Meanwhile, Lil Murda is on his Dirty Dozen tour. And, he got Keyshawn with him and all that good stuff. And that Big Teak, the security guard who they got out of jail, he's loyal to. There's more to that storyline. They have a history that they have not quite touched on quite yet, but you can tell Lil Murda is loyal to Big Teak. I think I'm saying his name right. But Big Teak is like a hothead and a gang member and all this other stuff. And when they're going on this tour and doing these tour dates, he runs into somebody that he remembers but ain't too fond of him and all of that stuff. And it really is going to cause a problem. As we saw, it did cause a problem. And they did their performance. They did their little song. Shout outs they had. What's that rapper named Big Frida was there. While they were on their tour, we seen them perform, and Big Frida was there, and they performed that. Champagne, Campaign. I like that. I went and got it off iTunes. You can get Lil Murda's song right off iTunes. I like that song. So they was playing that song and all that. But there's this drama. Now, here's the thing that happens. When you're going into a different career, you can't always bring that old element with you. But it feels like whatever Big Teak went to jail for had something to do with Lil Murda. So there's a loyalty there. So they get into this fallout thing. Big Teak get into an argument with somebody, and they fighting and they start shooting. He gets hurt and all that. And you also have Keyshawn over here filming stuff and pretending to be Lil Murda's lover. And I said, that's going to come back to her and bite her, because her crazy baby father, Derek, he going to see some of that footage and he's not going to like that. And that was a funny scene too, when they had the chocolate covered strawberries, and Lil Murda was like, where are my chocolate covered strawberries? They was like, you're allergic to strawberries. He's like, so what? But all that little playful banter, nice, but that's going to hurt Keyshawn as well, because it's like, she got that crazy man at home. So that's very interesting. But also, did you catch when that guy, someone knows Lil Murda's secrets, because that guy said something, alluded to Lil Murda being gay, and that's not going to mesh well in the hip hop. In hip hop, you can't have that. That's just not going to mesh well with that hardcore brand that he's selling. That street thing that he's selling, and Keyshawn supposed to be his girl. That's not going to flow. And I'm wondering if Big Teak knows that Lil Murda is gay. Or if he doesn't know, I wonder what's going to happen when he finds out, because he's going to find out. Although while they're on this Dirty Dozen tour, the groupies is chasing Lil Murda, and Keyshawn is covering for him and saving him by having him come in the room and kissing on him and doing all that, putting this facade, which I said that's gonna hurt her. And we see that he's like missing Uncle Clifford, sending Uncle Clifford postcards. I did like that scene where they were having that little thing and she was telling him what he should be writing about in the postcards. And they had the conversation where he explained what got him thrown out of the pink, but what happened to her. And then she mentioned things, what she regrets, that whole incident with her and Diamond and Derek and all of that, which, I thought that was a great scene. But, that's all of this is going to come back and bite him, because I'm like, what's going to happen when Big Teak finds out? Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, that guy who's playing Big Teak, he's a good actor because he's playing this hard criminal. And I remember him from the show Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, where he was like the office guy from California. That's what you call good acting, because he was totally different from what he is at this role. That's a good actor right there. So shout outs to him. So anyway, as that is going on, let's talk about the issues with the mayor and his campaign trying to get, he's trying to get the black vote. And this is what they like to do. They come on to the black church and pander to us when they need our votes or they need something from us. That's what politicians do. And I like that, Mercedes' mama wasn't having that, and she was saying her piece about him, like, listen, y'all ain't about nothing. But then that came back to bite her when we saw what the mayor did to her, where the mayor put out that rule about the social distancing and she can't have this many people in her church. But she told him, like, she ain't all that holy, because she told him, you done F with the wrong B. So I thought that was funny. Now, a really good thing tonight's episode was Mercedes and the coach. And Mercedes went over to the coach's house after that proposition. She's taking it because, listen, that gym is failing. She need that money. So she going to be that side piece, and she meets his wife, Farrah, beautiful chocolate sister. And that was a beautiful place they had. And she taking pictures, and Farrah come down and she said, oh, this is beautiful. And Farrah was like, beautiful, like corrected her English or whatever. And then you seen the dynamics, and she said, sign this and sign this. She started off cold, and then when she saw the way the coach was relating to his wife and kind of downplaying her art, Mercedes complimented the art and gave an explanation. Oh, I like this artwork, this, that, and the third. And they kind of bonded. Then he said, Mercedes, why don't you do that thing that you do? Show my wife how you do that thing. And they had this whole conversation about a hoe and this and that. And, why'd you want to meet me? None of his other hoes ever wanted to meet me. And she's like, I'm not a hoe. She said, you're agreeing to be my husband's side piece for X amount of dollars. You hoe, basically. So they had their little conversation. She said, no, I'm a hoe with dignity. I got rules. I got class about it. So they're bonding. Then he tells Mercedes, go on up there and do that little dance you do. So Mercedes gets up on the pole and does a very sexy pole thing. It was very sexy. And when she did that whole pole thing, right, that even turned on Farrah. Next thing you know, they all in a threesome. I got a little too excited when I did that, right? They all in a threesome, all giddy goody. And then, she plugged her phone in to do the little routine. And the phone rang. It's her daughter, so she had to answer the phone. Tarika is in trouble. Tarika is in trouble because the cops stopped her because she's driving her mother somewhere, and her stepmother, and the mother was drunk. So now Mercedes has to leave the little threesome. She said, I told you I was working. She had to leave the threesome to go get her daughter. And that scene between the stepmother and Mercedes, and she's spraying her with the water while she's in the tub. And the lady said, I know a stripper ain't judging me. And they had a very revealing conversation where it was brought up where Shells, that's her name, where she told us, she said, listen, let me tell you something. She said, you can't judge me, this, that, and the third. And she said, why don't you give her to me? And she told him, she said, Cortez did not want you to have Tarika. And this is where we learned she was 15 when she lied about her age when Shell's husband messed with her. But then Mercedes said to her, she said, well, why did you keep her? And why did you, she said, Liz, Cortez didn't want you to have her. He didn't think you could take care of her. And she said, isn't it crazy? I've been being loyal to a man in his death who wasn't loyal to me in life. But the sad part about that was Tarika heard the whole thing. So you're hearing this whole thing about your mother was an underage hoe who slept with your father, who was a married man, and then he took custody, and then he didn't want the 15-year-old daughter, the 15-year-old mother to have anything to do with it. And then when Tarika has her conversation with Mercedes, she says, well, is all of that true? Did you love him? She said, yes. And were you really 15? She said, yes. She said, well, did he love you? And I guess she didn't really know that. She said, but why didn't you come after me? She said, well, I was 15 and my mother made me give you to them or whatever. She said, yeah, but you didn't stay 15. You didn't fight hard enough. And I'm like, she's got a point there. She said, well, listen, I was a stripper. They wasn't going to give custody to a stripper. And I was like, she got a good point too. But I love that scene between the two of them. I thought that was pretty good. Pretty good stuff. There's some shady business going on too. Did y'all catch? Let's move on down to the security guard and his friend, and they're doing a little business on the shady deal. And did you catch the interaction between the security guard and Roulette? That's going to be something right there. That's going to be some problems because she saw some of their little side business. That's going to totally be some problems. We still have Autumn and Uncle Clifford bumping heads with how things should be. Uncle Clifford still feels like, you know what, you opened the place too soon. Mercedes wasn't ready, this, that, and the third. So this is why they had Roulette and what's the other lady name? The new other stripper, Whisper, headlining now. So yeah, really good episode. Lots and lots of stuff going on. I can't wait to the next episode. I enjoyed this episode. I'm wondering though, what's going to happen, because listen, that they want to buy the pink, but they don't want to give the money that Autumn wants. Autumn wants $10 million, but they're like, nah, we want it for $1 million. But she's like, she wants $2 million. She's like, listen, if they want to get this place, they're going to have to give us more money. They're going to have to give us more. And I thought all of that is going to be interesting, all these turns. And also I'm wondering, is Andre going to run for mayor or anything like that? It's all getting interesting. I'm liking these new characters. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the next episode. I'm worried about Keyshawn. I'm worried about her because I'm that crazy Derek and all of that stuff. And I'm also saying, like I said, I'm just summing it up now. This thing with Lil Murder and Teek's friends and all, something's going to come to head with that too. His sexuality is going to come into play. There's going to be a lot of different things that's going to come into play. But overall, I thought it was a really good episode. Good music. I love all the dancing and the pole and the booty. Good episode. Really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Tell me your thoughts. If it's something that I left out, what do you think? What did you think about tonight's episode? Are you enjoying this? And that's it for now. I will see you all in the next video. You all be blessed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.